They call themselves the Fat Idols. And they actually introduce themselves not just by their names, but by their assigned food and by their weight. And I think everybody knows that anyone who asks a woman about their weight deserves the capital punishment. But they're different. They're very brave. And I'm absolutely in love with them. And the name of this girl group from Japan is Big Angel. So they actually have three members. They used to have five, but now they have three members. And one of them is Eri Tada or Eri Pio, and she is 207 pounds. And she is in charge of mayonnaise. And the next one is Inori Hashimoto, or Inorin. She's 172 pounds, and she's in charge of ham and sausages. And then there is Mi-chan or Michiko Ohashi, and she is 242 pounds, and her assigned food is fried chicken. And so the concept of the group is that they used to be angels, but because they ate and ate, and I think heaven was just not able to hold their weight, they fell to earth. But they're enjoying their stay, and I'm very glad that they are here because their music is absolutely addicting. I love their first single. I think the title is something like "We Have to Go on a Diet" or something like. I think this issue of inclusivity, especially among the plus-size women, has been going on for quite some time. But to this day, they are still sort of segregated. The plus-size women is still not a part of the standard sizing or the standard group of women. So if you, for example, if you walk into a store or a mall, plus size would still be considered a special section. But I think the one thing that this group is driving in the forefront of this entire fight is to actually make plus size women a part of the regular women. They shouldn't anymore be treated as if there's something different. And I think that's what needs to be appreciated. I know people are going to say that the mere fact that the management company decided to create a girl group composed of purely plus size women and then make them dance in their bikini and then come up with songs that are bright and happy and make them dance so that their flabs or their fats will jiggle. It's an act of humiliation. So that in itself is the thinking that has to change, because there is absolutely nothing wrong, nothing humiliating when a woman who is plus size wants to wear a bikini and dance. I know that a lot of people would just say that the management company of Big Angel is just taking advantage of them so that they can make some money. I have no doubt that they are wanting to make some money, but I think there has to be a recognition on the bravery of the concept of this of Big Angel. It's not easy for 3 or 5 women to go out there and present themselves, especially in a country that are even stiffer when it comes to weight, that are even stricter in their standards when it comes to weight and how women should appear. For them to come out and be proud of who they are and present themselves for who they are, I think that's beyond brave. They are taking something very serious and an issue that's very serious and putting it in the mainstream industry so that the general public, those who don't usually would go out of their way to consume art or to participate in cultural and social revolutions or discussions, they are the ones that are putting it in the forefront of these people, so that these people that are not usually participants of social discussions and social problems or whatever, they can be a part of it and they are able to consume it. They are able to read the message or to get the message or read the message in a form that is easy for them to understand. But I think more than the brightness that they bring and more than the supposed courage that they have in just presenting themselves for who they are, I think there is a deeper insight into what they're doing right now. As everybody knows, there is that bigger disconnect in how Asians are creating their art and the kind of art that we do. because culturally, fun and funny and humor and brightness and lightness and flamboyance, these are all part of our culture, even from the sound to our costumes to our houses. Our houses have always been flamboyant. The design of our national costumes, the traditional clothes that we wear, it's never clean, it's never structured. It has always been layers upon layers, and it's all about colors and it's all about brightness. And we're big on traditions, we're big in ceremonies, and that in itself, I think people should realize that flamboyance and grandeur have always been a part of our culture. And so whenever we make something that is supposedly serious, like art or social statements or revolutions or stuff like that, that part, humor, fun, and brightness and lightness, those are all part of the tone and the substance and the form of what we do. But because that's not how North America and Europe do things or take things, because they are very formal, it's easy for them to discredit what we do as a novelty or something that is just a commercial venture. But this, I think, one big message that people, especially people from North America and Europe, should take away from this is that this is a serious issue that Asians are putting in the forefront of mainstream media and mainstream consumers. And because pop in general, Japan and Korea, are such major industries in both countries, it is but natural for producers and for artists to create or incorporate an issue, a serious issue that they're trying to tackle, and put it in the venue or the stage or in the language that the mainstream people, mainstream consumers are going to understand. They are finding ways on how they can package a serious message and deliver it in the language and the form that the larger audience would be able to consume and understand. And so just because our artists come in with such flamboyant presentation, flamboyant costumes and thick makeup and a different hairstyle and a different hair color, it doesn't mean that it's gimmick. It's just how we do things. That's just art for us. When we do it, we do it. we don't half-ass things. So I hope those are the two things that people are able to take away from this. I think it is high time for everybody to recognize that plus-size women doesn't just belong to a special section of our industry. Whether it's the entertainment industry, the music industry, or the merchandising in a store, they shouldn't be a special section. They should be mixed with all the other sizes. They shouldn't be segregated. They are one of us. And the second thing is that it is time for each other, not just Europeans and North Americans toward Asia, but also Asians towards North Americans and Europe, to take a pause before we form our opinions on how we do things, whether it's art, whether it's political system, whatever it is. Let's take a step back and put ourselves and understand where we are coming from. Only then can we really empathize and truly embrace each other.